What is love? Is it only ours? Or does love whisper in the flowers? Surely we're children of this world, could not love by our own powers. What is joy? Is it just a dream? Or does joy laugh in every stream? Are the clouds mindless after all? Or is joy all nature's theme? God is dead, so men say. Can't they see all life's his play? Not a church binds him as its own, not a creed makes him fully known. Foolish we're if we limit him. Every atom is his throne. What is love? Is it only ours? Or does love whisper in the flowers? Surely we're children of this world, could not love by our own powers. What is love? What is love? Is it love we touch in the flowers?
You know, it's strange. When I came to Master and he gave me his unconditional love, this was certainly the most important day of my life, the most sacred day of my life. And yet, you know, just as Sri Yukteswar, when you remember Babaji came to him under that banyan tree, and Sri Yukteswar was so excited that he rushed home to get some prasad to bring to him, and when he came, he found him gone. And when he saw Lahiri Mahashaya in Benares at the home of, when he saw Lahiri Mahashaya said, "Didn't you see Babaji?" And he hadn't seen him. And Babaji said, "You must meditate more deeply. You weren't able to see me behind the sunbeams." Babaji's body is not like ours. But interestingly, Sri Yukteswar was a bit hurt. He didn't want to even talk to him. And he said, "Why did you leave me when I went to get you some prasad?" Babaji said, I was fairly extinguished in the ether by your restlessness." Well, that's really how it was with Master when I met him. I was so desirous of being accepted. I just in my mind, I said, you've got to. Well, I just couldn't think of anything else, that he had to accept me. And I know when he touched me, you hear about all these wonderful experiences people have when they meet their guru. Well, he put his arm on his finger on my heart, and it vibrated like that for about 2 minutes, I think. You have to think there was something happening. I thought, God, I don't feel anything. But you know, from that moment I changed.
Good morning again, friends. It's so wonderful to hear Swamiji speaking on this topic and to feel the joy, the love he had when he met Master. And I remember one time I asked Swamiji, did you all ever have any way that you could touch Master besides touching his feet? Now, he said the only thing we ever touched were his feet. But then he said that once in a while, he would allow you to put your forehead just here, like on his shoulder. And he said that didn't happen much, but sometimes he allowed you to receive a blessing that way. But we have to realize there are blessings coming all the time. When we have a satsang, or when we're in a ceremony, or when we go to a holy place on pilgrimage, or when we go in our meditation room, when we visit a saint, there's always a blessing that we can receive if we receive it in the right way. And Master said he can bless you from the astral realms, the causal realms. He said, to those who think me near, I will be near. And the blessing of Babaji, as it says in autobiography, Lahiri Mahashayaji said that anyone who calls with devotion to Babaji will receive an instantaneous blessing. So the blessing doesn't have to be somebody in front of you. And also Lahiri Mahashayaji said that I'm with all those who practice Kriya. Now that's with your mind on God and gurus. But we have to know that the blessings are always flowing. I think that's the most important part. And if we're receptive enough and open enough, we can sense those blessings. When we were just listening to the song, What is Love, and also the talk, you could sense a blessing coming from that song, coming from Swamiji, who's no longer in the body, from an audio talk by him. You could feel a blessing coming. From a book, you can feel a blessing. Master said he put his vibrations in Autobiography of a Yogi. I'm sure he put his vibrations in all of his books. And Swamiji put Master's vibrations in his books. You sense when your eyes look on those pages of holy books like that, you sense a blessing. And other great scriptures, I'm sure you felt a blessing. And from the photographs of a great one, particularly today, I'm talking about our gurus, but you sense a blessing coming from the photograph, from the eyes, from the drawing of Babaji. There were some devotees in Africa once who wrote to Ananda saying that they were being bothered by some dark energies. And Swamiji had someone write back, and he told them, put the photographs of the gurus around, outside, inside, everywhere. And because they emanate, and he said to them, they emanate a light. So there's a blessing coming from the photographs. And there's a blessing coming from murtis. You may see here on my altar, I got these beautiful photographs. They're backlit, but I'll have them backlit next time we have class. And then I saw this beautiful murti at Ananda village. I brought it back from America to India. But the murti also carries, it depends on your own devotion though. You can put a murti there and never give it any energy. But if you give a murti love, vibrations, I have big murtis in my temple here at home. And from your own temple, you receive blessings. I mean, the vibrations build up and build up. Every center you go to of Ananda, there's a deep vibration. If so many kriyas have happened there, long meditations, blessings, satsangs, kirtans, they're full of blessings that are flowing. But as when I go into my temple here, I touch the feet of the murtis, put my forehead against the forehead of the murtis, Babaji, Master, Christ, Krishna. You feel a blessing. There's a blessing from so many different ways. And then, of course, directly in meditation. Why are we sitting there? To have contact with God, not to just do techniques. So as we meditate, we draw the blessings, the vibrations, the bliss, the love of God, of the masters. They're blessing you. If you sit in the right way, open, drawing, you can feel the blessings of the masters directly in meditation. You can feel it when you chant. I was telling you last time I got a big tanpura, and I chant with it every day. And I feel blessing from chanting. I'm sure some of you play harmonium. There's a blessing that you feel from the chants. God, I remember Kamala Silva, who was living at Ananda village for some time, when she was very elderly. We would go and visit her and chant. And once we were playing, I think it was Door of My Heart, and there was a small group chanting there with her. And she said, oh, that chant would draw master. And it's true, the chants draw the gurus, your prayers. They draw their blessings. And seva, when you do seva, master said to be in tune with me, serve my work, and the channel is blessed by what flows through it. So realize you're receiving a blessing in all these ways. So what's the right way to receive a blessing? Being open, being receptive, sincerely calling to God, being prayerful, being respectful of the channel. If there's a person blessing you, that feel that that person is there as a channel for God and gurus, offering your heart's devotion and love, and not in a way that, it's hard to put this in words, but not in a way that's so needy, that I need this, but rather that blessings are always flowing and I'm open to receive them. And just realize that Divine Mother will give you just as much as you can take. I remember Master would talk about one disciple who he said he wanted to drink the whole lake of God's bliss, but he could only drink 3 glasses of water. And so people want to take and take and take, but they can't. You just have a little cup. That's all you can take in that cup. And so you have to broaden your consciousness, broaden your awareness, broaden your attunement, open yourself up more and more. Then you'll be able to receive more. And but to just hope that you can take more and more and more and race to the blessing and stay there longer, it's not, it doesn't happen that way. Swamiji would say that he would sit in the back of the room with Master at times. Master would be talking about things that had to do, duties for the day to the other monks. And he said he would just sit quietly and he felt Master's blessing so deeply. inside of him. He said he just felt his energy rise and feel like it was just going to go out. His forehead was just opening up and into a deep state of consciousness. You don't have to think, what about me and how much am I going to get? And I'm not getting enough. Like the disciple told Master when he gave her a yellow rose, she said, oh, I don't want this. I want the red rose. He said, what I give you, take. And so what the Guru gives, just be open, be centered in yourself. What do you do after a blessing, discipleship, a ceremonial blessing, a Kriya blessing? Or we would sit with Swamiji when there are 200-300 people at a Kriya. And it was very still, very quiet. People meditated that whole long time, and for everybody to go up and take the blessing. So when you get a blessing, like you go to Master's home or Babaji's cave or some holy place, just meditate, take it inside your heart, take it inside your soul, and then bring that energy up to the spiritual eye. It's not a time of excitement. Oh, look at this. Oh, I get to do this. Oh, what he touched me. And Master said that, well, Swamiji said when he would sit with Ananda, he would visit Ananda Ma at different times. And he said there were people and different ones who'd be just giving, oh, I brought this for you, Maya, and just giving her more and more things, but not with the right spirit of devotion, of centeredness. And Swamiji said he would just sit in the back of the room and just feel the bliss flowing. And so it's not something that you can grab onto, something you have to subtly draw into yourself. Like that great story Swamiji just told of Swami Sri Teswarji when he met Babaji, and he said, oh, I'm going to get some prasad. And he runs off. There's Babaji right there, and he runs for the prasad. He comes back and they're gone. He said, you fairly extinguished us with your restlessness. So you can extinguish the blessings with your restlessness. And so draw in more. If there's a holy ceremony, meditate, feel the blessings flowing and flowing. I was just at a Kriya in Gurgaon, and was just, and West Delhi as well. There's so many blessings just flowing. Just even if you're not there getting the blessing yourself, it's just in the room. So there shouldn't be a feeling of lack, or what about me, or I'm special, or I have to get up there in the front, or I got to get up there and get a second blessing. And it just doesn't work that way. Devotion is really sacred. It's inward. It's quiet. It's still. And I think that's something that we need to learn. That when we were around Swamiji, we didn't fuss and go around and let me give you this and do you need that? And we were just very still. He needed something, he would let us know, but it wasn't a continuous movement all the time and trying to please him. And he was very much happy to have us there, but I noticed that he didn't have many restless people around, because it just would disturb the vibration and disturb the blessings that everybody was receiving. So how do we give back? It's an important point to keep in mind, because you should complete the circle, not just I want, I need, I got problems, help me. How are you going to complete the circle? The more you can give, the more you're going to receive. That's why we have seva as such an important part of the Sangha. I was remembering a time when Swamiji was writing the new path. Now, I only heard this because I wasn't there at the time at the village, but every week he would call a group in, maybe it was everybody in the community, and he would read the chapter the chapters that he had just written. And people would sit and they would meditate. And then after he would finish, he would look around and people were meditating, and then people would go home. And he would ask for feedback. Nobody said anything. They just went off home. And that went on for a couple of weeks. And then he said to people, listen, I need to hear from you. How do you feel about this? Do you feel what I'm writing will it reach people? Will it touch people's hearts? I want you to give back. I don't want you to just sit there like a statue. And then people started giving feedback, and it really helped Swamiji. I noticed every project that he had that I know about, he wanted you to participate. It wasn't just sitting there, Swamiji does it all. He needed that support and that encouragement. And whatever we could do to help. And you remember when Jayaji said last week, most of you were probably at that satsang, when he said, Swamiji asked a group of people also, when he was getting ready to go to Europe to do some programs, he said, now I've blessed you all many times. I want you to come here and bless me tonight for my trip. People were shocked. Us bless you? But he just waited and waited until people came up. And it has to be reciprocal. Swamiji said when he went to Master, he said to him, I didn't come here for what I can get from you. I came for what I can give. Wow. And he was 22 years old. He was brand new. He just met him for the first time. But to have those words to say was, what can I give? And I think if we go into whatever wonderful situations we have with blessings, then we'll feel the blessings. If we can open ourselves and what can I give? At least at this point, I can give my devotion. I can give my love. I can give joy, bliss. And finally, I remember once when Swamiji, we were in Italy at the time. He was coming from India. And he was so filled with Master's vibrations. And he always wanted to share, though. He didn't want you always there looking for him to bless you. He just wanted you to feel the vibrations wherever you were. He didn't want you always bowing down at his feet. And I remember once he came to Italy and he was so excited. He said, listen, he opened the trunk of the car and he had this big mala from Lahiri Mahashaya that someone had given him in India. Now it's in the Shrine of the Masters at Ananda village. But there was a group of us, he says, here, hold this. And he'd just put it in your hand and you could just feel the vibrations. But that was what he wanted us to feel. He didn't want us then to also ask him, now you bless us as well. He was always blessing us. Master's always blessing us. If we open ourselves. So I think our part is what's more needed, to be more open, more receptive, more sincere, sincerely wanting to find God and always feeling in your heart, what can I do to give back to you? If you do that way, go to blessings in that way, you'll be so filled up, you'll be filled up to overflowing. God bless you. I'll ask Nitindra now to join on screen.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. We have a few questions. The first one is, isn't it good to take blessings from all saints and holy places?
I mean, really, it should be something you feel in your heart. It shouldn't just be, oh, everybody's going, I'm going to get in the line. Everybody's getting, I'm going to get. It shouldn't be that way. It should be, do I feel in my heart that God wants me to go there? I mean, also, if you're on this path, really, I remember once when I first came to India, Swamiji, there was a pilgrimage to around India. And I was a part of that pilgrimage, and I met Swamiji, and it was so powerful to be around him. And he said, well, are you going on the pilgrimage? I said, Swamiji, I don't want to go on a pilgrimage. Why am I going on a pilgrimage? I said, while you're here, why do we need a pilgrimage? And he said, no, you should know where the places are in India. I mean, that's basically what he said. He didn't say, go to take the blessings because he knew what I meant. And so it's up to in your heart. Do you feel Master wants you to go up there? Inwardly ask, Master, is this right for me to go? Is it right for me to do this? I remember I went to Babaji's cave a couple of times, and the second time I went, it was so, I mean, it's just enthralling to be in there, really. I know some of you have just come back from there. And as I was leaving, I didn't hear anything, but I felt Babaji saying, it's really nice for you to come here, but you can meet me anywhere and anytime. It was a wonderful thought. I just went, Jai, of course it is. So if you're not there, you can't say, no, I'm not with Babaji anymore. He's with you all the time. If you want him to be there, it's surely good to go to places, but be sincere. That's the word I want to use. Don't just, oh, he's going, so I'm going. He's touching the feet. I'm going to touch the feet. I'm going to get something too. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you all, that in America, no one touches anyone's feet. And maybe the Indian groups, but we didn't ever touch Swamiji's feet until we came to India. We didn't really even know that that's what you're supposed to do. Now, did we receive blessings anyway? Of course we did. But when we came to India and we saw all the Indian devotees touching Swamiji's feet, we said, Swamiji, can we touch your feet too? He says, sure. What he never told us earlier, why aren't you touching my feet? You're going to get the blessing from touching my feet. He never, I mean, that was 40 years. But then at the right time, he said, sure, you can do that. But you see what I'm saying? We got the blessings anyway. Did he bless us every time he saw us? No way. He was more giving you things to do. You come to Swamiji, here, do this for me. Here, you can help me with this. You can call these people for me. Here, take this project on. And did you feel blessed? Of course you did. The blessings were flowing all the time. Does it make sense? I know that shocks you all, but that's how it was. And even now in America, people don't, it's just not what's done. You do what's appropriate in the culture. So maybe a little bit that happens. I would not very much though. It's more in India. It's the Indian culture. But is everybody else in the world not getting blessings? Of course they're getting blessings.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. We have a live question.
Yeah.
When we make a plan to do a pilgrimage or to attend a satsang, but we are unable to do that, then does that mean that maybe I was not open or devoted enough?
Oh, why go there? I mean, really, why go that route? Just say it wasn't the time. It just wasn't the time. But can Divine Mother and the Masters visit you in your own portable temple and yourself? Of course they can. And in your meditation room and at your job, and of course they can. So why take a low road? Just say, oh, it wasn't time for me to go, but I still feel Master's presence. I'm still going to pray to him. I'm still going to draw him into my meditations. I'm still going to feel Babaji's blessings. It's not, people have this thing, it was my karma. I couldn't go because it was my karma. I mean, karma, forget it. Just do something positive. Be positive. Every time, you see my altar changes all the time because I'm interested in these gurus, I want them to know I'm here and, set up a new altar, get some flowers or get an instrument and start playing it rather than, oh, I didn't go, someone's bad karma. It's not right. When it's time, remember Swami Master wanted to come back to India after the 1935 trip, 1935. He was planning to go 3 different times. Swamiji was going to accompany him. And every time Master said, Divine Mother doesn't want us to go. So he never went again. Now, was this his bad karma that he didn't get back to India? No, it just wasn't supposed to happen.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. That's very relieving to know. We can squeeze in one more question. You did talk about how can we take blessings inside ourselves, but can you also elaborate on how can I give blessings to others?
Honestly, you should be feeling you're blessing everybody who's around you all the time. If you keep your sadhana strong, if you keep doing the things Master gave, you are a blessing to people around you. If you go negative, if you let your thoughts drop, if you're reading the wrong books and looking at the wrong programs and getting on the wrong social media and you're with the wrong people, then you're not a blessing. You know when you're blessing, you know when you're not. But just ask the masters, help me to be a channel for you. Every day, I ask Master, help me to do whatever you want. I'm happy to do it. Just give me the strength to do it. Now, what do I mean by strength? I don't just mean physical strength, mental clarity, the right people. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's clarity, maybe it's inspiration, ideas. You know, give me the strength to do it, but I want to serve you and I want to be a channel for you. So you can't just say I'm a channel because I'm a disciple, I'm a Kriyaban. No. You have to really ask the gurus to use you as an instrument and as a channel. They need instruments, but so many people are so busy with everything else, they're not interested. I would say today, ask the masters, what do you want me to do? How can I give to you? How can I mean, it seems strange. How can I bless you? I'll tell you something to close that. When I did my first Kriya in Hindi, which was, shall I say stressful? It was stressful. I had practiced it for months, you know, these words and these big phrases. And so what I did was, it came to me, why don't you tell the inspirational talk to the gurus? Isn't that the wonderful thing? So I got in front of the altar and I gave the talk to them. They were happy. If they're happy, I'm happy. Isn't that the most wonderful thing? I just, and several times after I said, here, I'm giving this talk today. Can I tell you this talk? Can I give you Kriya? It seems very odd, but it worked. And I felt so many blessings coming from them because I gave it to them. I wasn't like, what am I going to do? Oh my God. Like, I gave the talk to the gurus. And then during the Kriya, I was just fine. So I think more just share with them, whatever it is, give them, say, how can I bless you by being a better disciple? By sharing more, by serving more, by singing, by getting in the choir, by doing whatever it is. How can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I love you? How can I give you myself more? You'll find it's a wonderful life that we have. Masters laid it out and it's so beautiful. God bless you all. Thank you.